Hi Anti-Society, welcome back to the Antisocial Planet, and today we are checking out episodes 84 and 85 of Tower of Gods Season 2, and I'm already exhausted. We're getting into the kind of final, I think, parts of the workshop battle, at least like the actual workshop battles, which everyone has just gone rogue from because there's so many other things happening at this point. I mean, we have Wangnan and Kun putting together kind of an amalgamation of Team Sweet and Sour and some other regulars that we've ran into over the course of this season. We have Bomb going off and finding this needle ignition weapon thing. I know that the translation is slightly changed or different, and he's with Beta, which seems like a bad idea, a little unhinged. Don't really trust him. We have like Novik trying to help out Bomb, but there's also some other stuff going on like Foog and this like Mad Dog team and Bomb's kind of team that they're going up against. I don't even know anymore. We've got Lororo and Hats off doing something right now. Not really sure what. I'm probably missing some threads in there too. There were some things going on with Anak and her picking up on some stuff. Oh, we have all the stuff going on with Emily and the people getting trapped in the rooms that are there because they're trying to save whoever this Emily person is. Like I don't even know anymore. There's too many threads and I'm already tired, but I need to know what happens. I need to figure out how this is all gonna go, because it seems like Bomb is going to like fully reveal that he is in fact Bomb, like Violet and Bomb are the same person, and he's gonna try and like get his independence back from Foog and kind of embrace his own person and independence and things like that. So I'm excited to maybe see that. I'm kind of nervous about what he'll become. That's where I'm at. I just want him to continue to be sweet forever, and I know that that's not gonna happen, but I can dream. So let's get into these chapters, because we have so many things that we could be getting into, and I honestly don't know where we're gonna end up. So let's just dive in. Let's see what we got. Yeah, it's a big one. Enryu? Have we heard that one so far? They threw a bunch of irregular names at us earlier on in the series, and my brain has just been like, those aren't Bombs, so I just like threw them away. And I feel bad because it's probably important and I probably should have been like taking notes or something, but I was just hoping that if it was relevant, they would remind me. Ooh, dang. Okay. Administrator's supposed to be immortal, and then that is not what happened. Oh, okay. So did we use it to kill the administrator, or does it have something to do with how the administrator's abilities work? Okay, yeah. I was gonna say like dead, and then I'm like, right, because of how they work, they have like a kind of like entity in them, so I'm assuming that that entity is gone from this one. Okay, the dark researchers? That's sketchy. That's like they're not even trying to hide what they're doing, you know, just makes me wonder. Is that like why they needed like a human ignition weapon though? Like they needed to put like an entity in this needle so that it actually works, because there isn't one right now? I feel like we're just casually throwing out this phrase kidnapping kids, like, which also makes me worried about this whole place where there seems to be a bunch of people who are there to save Emily. I feel like it's a trap. I feel like it's a way to just get a bunch of people in the same place. So where was Bomb before? I still want to know if there's a before for Bomb, because I know his memory isn't there, but if they were just kidnapping, then that means that he must have been like living his life before being experimented on. Or was he kind of manufactured in like a test tube? It all feels wrong, and it should, because like I'm not a dark scientist, so this is not what Novik signed up for. A lot has been thrown at him and he's just kind of rolling with the punches, which, you know, good for him. Saying material also feels weird because it's very disconnected. Well, the kid is dismissive too, especially talking about like this has been going on for a long time. It's like the implication is like this has been going on long enough that like you can't even comprehend it because you haven't been alive that long. Okay, well, saying there's not the slightest error in your plan seems like you're gonna have that happen now. There is a slight error somewhere because you've said it out loud. Like Onovik's just like, what is happening? I'm just here as like a diversion. Keep calling him a kid. I feel like that's gonna like get under his skin maybe a little bit. I'll have to prove that he's not. Okay, so there are rules then. We've acknowledged that experimenting on people messed up. Maybe we don't. Like the scientists were filled with madness. Probably. I knew that the whole like never stopped thing. I feel so bad for like Oryang, who was like they stopped and then finding out that they hadn't and kind of seeing all of it for what it is. I just feel so bad for him because he had all of this hope, I think, before finding like Team Sweet and Sour of like going back and being with like Sophia and Cassino and like going back to this place where he felt at least like he fit. And there was someone who cared about him and understood what he was going through. And now that's just like been completely shattered because he's actually seen it for what it is. And he knows what other potential there is, right? Like he has people who care about him now who aren't going to experiment on him, who aren't going to think that that's okay, who aren't going to sit back while other children are experimented on and put through the same thing as him. So he's like, actually, this is awful. Yeah, we talk about the devil. I feel like calling it the devil too says a lot about what it is. Because you could have called it pulled from any mythos that you wanted to say like powerful. And you chose the devil. Caution should be used. Also using the word evil. We saw that pan on the flashback. I guess it does kind of make sense though to use like the devil, because if you have like Jihad, who's like the god in a lot of contexts, then the kind of within the biblical sense, who is the rival to God, or the person who challenges God's authority within like biblical stories, the devil, right? So it's like a rebellion against God is like what the fall from grace is. It was the devil saying like, actually, I don't think that I should follow what God is saying. And that's what caused the fall from grace and kind of the subsequent dominoes of that. So I guess I kind of get the wording, but it is like not the most positive term to use, even though the devil is also technically an angel, just a fallen angel. So I don't like calling him completed either. Like it's so clinical. It's like almost talking about like something mechanical, right? It's like material and completed and like putting something together. It's a human, it's a person, it's Bomb, it's our sweet boy. Yeah, there was some kind of different, I don't know, people in Fook. I don't want to say like factions necessarily, but there are different people in Fook who have different things that motivate them and different perspectives on Bomb and who he is, or Violet and who he is, and the plan and how it should be carried out and things like that. So not the most like single-minded focus of groups. They all kind of have their own thing going on. I mean, that is legitimate where he is planning things. That doesn't seem like a good idea. It seems forceful. Like wouldn't the soul object to that? Well, we knew that, but personal space. Ooh, good transition back. Kind of like meanwhile. Of it all. Yeah, I know. I'm like, she's a little sunshine, but I don't trust her. Never trust someone whose eyes are always closed. We've been through this. Or Novik. He's just trying to figure things out. Survive long enough. This makes me more worried about like what Anak was talking about and like sharing information with people and things like that, where she's at, if she's actually being manipulated, or does she know? Like, is that part of why she was giving kind of these subtle messages, is because she was like, I sense a trap? I really don't know anymore. I feel like Anak has grown a lot since we kind of really checked in with her, because she's kind of been a peripheral character to a lot of the things that are happening, with, you know, the occasional fight with Ran. We haven't really like dived into like what she's thinking or followed her through like reacting to some of the stuff that's going on. So I don't always know what Anak is like on top of anymore. See, I believe that because her eyes are open now. I feel like you're thinking too much, Novik. You're gonna start panicking and we can't come up with a new plan if we're panicking. He's always in danger. When has Bomb ever been okay? Especially since this season started. My sweet boy! My teddy bear! I didn't forget about you. I know Rock is back, and that's kind of where my heart lies. But my sweet teddy bear, I love him so much. And he was picking up that things were going on. So proud of him. Come back to the good side. Oh yeah, don't be part of the trap, but like help out. I like a team up. Honestly, I didn't expect to like Novik, but I do. I feel like I shouldn't. I have like I have weird trust issues. Especially after what happened with Kuhn's team, but I do like him. Just something about him. It's complicated. There's lots going on. I'm kind of worried about them saying there's nothing that they can do. Is there actually nothing, or is that just underestimating them? Everyone's trying to use Violet for their plans. This is not new information. Oh no, okay. We got some other players coming in though. Are we just trusting? I feel like this is a bad idea. Haven't we just seen that we should not just be trusting? Maybe it's okay in this context, but like maybe a little bit of suspicion, a little caution. Didn't hurt anyone. We're seeing their eyes though. Okay, fine. Maybe it's okay. I'm still Excuse me, sir? He is off limits. See, I knew it. I knew that that was happening. It's all a trap. Did we have it called like Travelers before as like the username? Was that a hint the whole time? Oh, there's too much happening this season. I can't remember all the things that were foreshadowed and I should remember. That seems a little bit vindictive. Like, you can't live a happy life. You could have some friends too if you just chilled out a little bit. Maybe don't betray people who trust you. Just spitballing. Okay, I'm sensing a backstory where something of value has been lost, taken away, maybe. Oh, we're not throwing... Look, I'm having flashbacks to the end of season 1 when he was like falling through the water. His eyes are revealed now, though. I would be suspicious that your ride is moving away, too. Be suspicious that they just gave up. Yeah, be suspicious. Especially that Violet has left. Like, there are members of the group that are no longer being considered. It's a good question, Kun. I would like you to put together some of the pieces because I feel like a lot was thrown at me and I'm probably not picking up on it all. Also, like the fact that the workshop battle finished just like that, basically like off screen, basically, proves my point that it's really not the focal point right now. Are we thinking about the game and the rules and everything? No, I'm thinking about Bomb and all of this ignition weapon stuff and Foog making people betray each other. And is Teddy Bear okay? Is Novik okay? I'm worried. That's it. That's all. That's the only place I'm at. We're going back to the person from before, way before. I hate that this is like some kind of test. Like they're like, let's do something awful. Probably to Bomb. I'm assuming that there's that boy is Bomb and they're like, let's do something awful to him and just see what happens, because it's probably a way of like pushing him to the limit that they need him get past, right? They need to push him into a feeling of like desperation to like get the next layer of power from him. I don't like the grin while talking like that. Just want Bomb to do something really cool but not lose himself in the meantime. I'm worried that it was easy. That's where I'm at. I feel like we're bragging too much. Yeah, I was gonna say, just stay on topic. Put it together, Shibitsu. You know something's going on. He just doesn't have any of the good pieces yet. I feel like he's the only one who's just like, hang on, what's happening? Because I feel like some of them have like parts of it, and then there's just like poor Shibitsu, who's just like, doesn't even know that he's playing the game yet. Hats, wow, you've been through something. I'm a little bit worried, but I also feel like I trust Hats. We know this for certain. And he probably has an idea of what's going on because he's been doing other stuff in the background. Just trust him. Trust your teammates. Oh, oh, he's got one of pieces now. Okay. I don't know how Shibitsu's gonna do. I honestly don't, because I feel like he wants to see Bomb. He does, but he's got this grudge against Violet. He's got a bunch of baggage filled up with this like anger. Like Shibitsu's scary when he talks about what happened to Bomb and Violet and Foog and all of that. So I'm just worried how he's gonna process through this. Rock's not gonna buy it. Only rage. Especially since he said he was not gonna let him go. He's like, how dare he? Aw, I like that he's not a bad turtle. That is like a nonsense phrase, except in this context where I feel like it is the sweetest thing. I cannot take Chibi Rock being the cutest in general, but especially when it comes to Bomb. Yeah, Kun's like, I need more data. I like little Chibi Rock's like hood. It doesn't do anything to disguise him, but I love that he's trying. Just that I want to burn everything. Immediately. I don't know, these little like cameras are cute, but at the same time they're cameras and we've got some like shady corporation stuff going on. Yeah, we need to get Kun some footage, some data. We need to fill him in on what's going on because he's gonna put together some more pieces that I can't. He's gonna actually see like the chessboard. I'm just confused and wandering. He wouldn't. Even Wangnon's like, I don't think so. There's a lot of like rage from a couple of the teammates. Hello, other people. The snake. It doesn't make any sense either. I'm just thinking of it because why would Violet run away? It's a good question because if it's like this, where they're like, maybe he's afraid of the mad dog, but the mad dog like quit. They were like, we're not gonna do this anymore. Is it because they're thinking like Violet left before Mad Dog's team decided to quit the fight? Or are we assuming that something they happened closer together? You know what I mean? Like, what could have triggered Violet to leave? I know that these like passing characters probably aren't thinking that deeply about it, but I know that that's probably where everyone else is at, where they're like, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, and it's not true. Surprised it doesn't have like multiple screens up. Okay, I can kind of get it if you're just seeing like, oh, he ran in like a very specific direction immediately, and then they say like he ran away from the fight. I can kind of get that, but at the same time, like, I don't know, I guess if it's like you don't believe his abilities, but he's showed off his abilities throughout the workshop battle. I know that this is like a moot point. Oh, are you the snake that was making a deal with the other people? Kuhn's face, though. He is not okay with this being the person that he's in contact with, which is, I mean, fair enough. She's weird. Oh yeah, she also said his name, which I forgot that we were supposed to be like undercover, even though like we knew it was Kuhn. Oh dear. Is that why the particular interest in Kuhn? Like keeping an eye on him because Foog knows the connection between him and Bomb? Especially since like Kuhn has been being betrayed left and right for all of this. I'm sure that this is not gonna go well for him, like mentally, right? Because we had even a recovery time before with this team and everything that happened before, and now it's like repeating, but now it's friends that he's had for a really long time that are now in the crossfire. That's kind of super villainy, but okay. You'll figure it out, hun. I was like, ooh, okay, I want Kuhn and Shibitsu to like be teaming up again, because I love when our smart strategic boys get together and they come up with a plan. And I've been saying this forever. I need everyone to pool their information so that we can actually do something, because nobody has everything that they need to make this work. So I'm very excited to have Kuhn and Shibitsu in the same room, but also I don't think Shibitsu's gonna handle this well. I know he's a sweet boy deep down, but like, he scares me a little bit. It's still weird to see Kuhn with like darker hair. His hair is different. I'm like, it's wrong. See, okay, like people have different pieces of information now. Cause like Teddy Bear knows stuff about the human ignition weapons. Novik knows a little bit more about what's going on. We need to pool the information. And I guess like this, like Yuta, maybe. I don't know. I'm suspicious of everybody because we keep betraying everyone. I just keep being proven right to be suspicious. I remember that's who I was thinking of before when I was like, oh right, we have like the different factions that are kind of, or like people within Foog who are kind of going against the plans or what people say the plans are, and they all have kind of their own angle in the whole thing. I was thinking back to all that stuff that happened. I just like it goes so much deeper of like, it's not even really a workshop battle, right? Because it's not people coming in who are just participating in it, who have just like made it this far up the tower. It's like a bunch of people that Foog controls, including the people who like work at the workshop battles. And then it's just like Bomb and the people that he cares about and brought along with him. And I'm assuming some innocent bystanders, because there are some regulars that are just trying to be in the workshop battle, and I feel kind of bad that they've just like stumbled into this madness and probably gotten hurt. Not that the tower has ever paid much mind to like collateral damage. Yeah, no, we should be worried about that plan. It's not good for Bomb. It's not looking good for him. Does it say love on it? Or is it just the way that it's lined up? There's trauma with that one. I mean, I would assume so, given the whole was experimented on as a child thing. But we're manifesting into like aggression. Of course it was Cassino was part of it. Have I mentioned I don't like him? Yeah, it's just like interesting to say like, I thought you hated Violet more than I did, but I was wrong. I wonder if that's like, now that he's been like face to face with kind of like the completed version of what he was supposed to be, that it's like his hatred for Violet is stronger than he thought, or if there's something else going on with how Cassino feels. Yeah. I think it's just like him being like, now that I've seen him face to face, he's not just like an idea or something that's talked about. It's like a face to face with a person, and the rage kind of takes over. I feel like he definitely lost friends, especially since it says on like the bandages, it says like Beta B or something on it. And we have like Oryang and Cassino that were paired together, which makes me feel like maybe Beta had someone else, at least one other person who was kind of paired up with him during the experiments and lost them. And that might be part of the anger at the thought of like Violet gets to both be the completed version, whereas he's kind of the faulty version, and the alternative of him like not being part of Foog's plan is him getting to be with his friends, getting to be happy. And both of those things, I think, rub Beta the wrong way. I feel like a lot of information was in that. It was like very information dense as kind of the plot shifted from the workshop battles and the rules and stuff like that. And now it's like, here's a little bit of about what's actually going on and Foog's plans and the different ways of how everything's actually going to function, right? Like I said before about how I feel like Foog does want Bomb to like be in the place where this needle is, this like to kill a king, right, is because they need him in that place at that time. And that's like not necessarily because they need him to like claim it, or it can be because they want to like put his soul in it. I'm assuming to make it work again, because they said that it was like an empty shell, and I'm assuming it's because it doesn't have like a soul or an entity inside of it anymore. So they need to like put one in to make it work, and hopefully they can use it to go up against Jihad, to kill Jihad. Whether or not that'll actually work, I just feel like an administrator is there's a little bit of a jump between like an administrator and Jihad. Just like my thoughts on like the power levels. That being said, if Bomb does figure out how to make this work and like claim it for his own and like complete him being a human ignition weapon, we know that he has the potential to kill an administrator, so that's a scary power for him to have. I feel like these are going to be a couple of chapters that I have to come back to and really let sit in my head for a little bit so that I can fully pull out the information, because there was a lot of it. We've been doing some action, more heavy stuff, emotional stuff. And then that one, I feel like it was like, okay, we need to give you a bunch of info about what's going on because it's going to be important for all of the things that happen in the next chapters as things kind of gear up. I'll have to like really let it marinate a little bit. But I think the most exciting thing for me is Kun and Shibitsu teaming up again, like properly teaming up, being in the same place after such a long time, because they've been communicating from a distance, but they haven't like actually been like face to face, planning things, sharing information, being together, working on stuff. So that's what I'm really excited for. I hope you enjoyed reading those couple of chapters along with me. You can click this playlist to go and see my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so you miss next time I post a Tower of God video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.